The sound and shape of the violin as a muse for not only composers but also painters and poets is something that's fascinated me for many years. You think of the paintings by Matisse and Picasso and Dufy, Le Violon Rouge and Puny, which inspired my Red Violin Festival. It's been the foundation of the orchestra, of folk music, jazz. It's such a versatile instrument, and the thing I really love about it is its quality of singing. I remember that when Yehudi Menuhin and I were talking for the BBC, he said that the violin is the instrument of the gypsies because you can take it with you. So it's been my passport to travelling all over the world. I've always enjoyed playing a variety of music, right from Bach to contemporary, with the Romantics, the early 20th century, and now this wonderful collection of pieces written for me. This album, Violin Muse, consists of 7 world premieres of music by established living composers. And I'm very pleased to have the live recording that I made with the BBC National Orchestra of Wales of the violin concerto by Guiteau Pugh. It's called Soft Stillness, which is taken from The Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare. It starts on a B flat here, and then the clarinet joins me on the same note on the A, so you get these wonderful unisons, and then here the clarinet plays an A, but I move to a C, so it's just violin and clarinet for the whole of this opening cadenza. And then at the Allegro Moderato, the full orchestra comes in with the really quite involved orchestral playing. And there's this wonderful part in the second movement towards the end where it builds up and it's quite lush, and then it just resolves onto what Guiteau described as the so-called sweet chord, which is sort of F major. It's so beautiful. There are then 5 pieces on Violin Muse, of violin and piano pieces by composers, 3 of which were written for me as gifts by Michael Nyman, Sadie Harrison and Jeffrey Paul, and 2 others by Michael Barclay and David Matthews, which makes a wonderful collection of different timbres and styles, mostly in a lyrical vein, which I think really suits the violin. Jeffrey Paul wrote me his Rhapsody in 2015 as a gift, and he based it on a poem, and it's called Let Me Sing, Dear Heart. And then he develops the piece, and there's a wonderful cadenza. This is Sadie Harrison, Aria Luce, which starts with a plain chant in the violin over a bell, a drone in the piano. And then we have the duos by Judith Weir, Master of the Queen's Music, called Atlantic Drift. And these are celebrating the flow of traditional music between the British Isles and North America. One of my previous albums, which was for Divine Art, was Violin Songs, a collection of personal favourites. And so Violin Muse, in a way, follows on from that. There's so much happening in contemporary music in all sorts of different styles, and I think there's a really rich British repertoire now of contemporary violin music. Over the course of my career, I've been very lucky to have over 30 pieces written for me, and it's my privilege not only to bring these pieces to life for the public, but also my responsibility as a musician. And this is what Violin Muse is about.